What is up, YouTube? My name is Brett. Today's video is part 2 of me building my Lego vacation home mock. If you haven't seen part 1 already, I'll throw it up in the cards above. Check out that video. This whole video here will make a lot more sense if you've already seen that video. In today's video, we are expanding on yesterday's part 1 video. I built the first floor and the second floor of the house here in the first video. I forgot to mention, but this is kind of what I was thinking about doing. The second floor, we're going to make the bathroom. But yeah, so that's my first thought. Specifically, what we are going to start with, though, immediately, I searched through all of my bulk pieces and tried to find some cleaner white pieces because I will bring this closer and I'm sure you can see it's kind of dirty, destroyed. There's a lot of like chewed up pieces. This is all used Lego pieces that I'm using. The first floor, I ended up using all the really nice ones. So for the most part, the walls here look really good, except for that one piece right there. But this one here is kind of all gnarly. I don't really like it. It makes it look kind of bad. I mentioned in the last video that I will try to use some decoration siding and other stuff to hide this. But I figured why not try to find some more bricks to change this because I do want to make it look nicer so it's more presentable. So yeah, the first thing we will do, I'm actually going to pop this out. It's kind of cool. I found this little bathroom piece. I'm not sure if it came from a set or if someone just made it, but it's already made and it's so cool looking. So I figured why not just build the actual room to the size of the bathroom and then just plop it in and boom. So yeah, that's what this is going to become, is a bathroom. But we're going to take it out for now. Let's go ahead and change out some of these pieces to make this just look a little bit nicer. And then we'll move on to some more decorating. And just like that, I think I've improved it just enough to make it look a little bit better. Obviously, we still got some scuffs, but yeah, this is all those extra parts. I'm not going to throw these away just yet. There may be something I can use these for, so I'm just going to set them off to the side for now. But I'm happy with how the floor looks. It looks a lot better now. So yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do there. Now, with this bathroom, I wanted to use these doors, and I think they will fit. Like I mentioned, this just plops right in. I need to make sure the doors will open inside though, so we put it in. Let's see. It's a tight fit, but it'll go back. There's a little spacing right there, so I could put something down, but see, here's my concern. Oh, you know what? Whoa, look at that. So the door, hey, it swings open just barely. I guess that's, yeah, that functions, right? Like it's good enough. It's not horrible, because I wanted to leave it. I just like how the way those doors look. Obviously, from like maybe like a playing standpoint, you won't be able to see those doors very much, unfortunately. But just kind of looking down, what do you guys think? Should I leave the doors or should I just get rid of the doors and make this a little bit more open concept? I do like how like the little shower stall looks in there. I think that looks pretty cool. The green, I think, is what's throwing me off as well. It kind of looked weird with the green, but overall, I like how that bathroom looks. There's not much I want to change with it. Obviously, I need to put some stuff there on the one stud to stop that from sliding. But I'm going to leave this piece here for now. The next step for this would be building the roof for the house over this. I thought maybe I was using another one of these base plates to just put on top. Maybe I wasn't. Yeah, I need to still figure that out. It's one thing I haven't really quite thought of properly is the roof. Everything else I've kind of thought out with this mock, but the roof is just, it's got me puzzled. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Let's move those over. The one next thing I wanted to do, and we probably won't have enough of them, but we'll have some, is I want to finish this green area here. I kind of ran out of green bricks. I remember I looked far and wide through all of my bulk, but yeah, I kind of came up short. So hopefully what we have here will fill this little space out, and then I won't worry about adding any more. I'll just leave the green as is. I'm happy with this little area. I think I'm going to turn into like some sort of garden or something, I'm thinking. How can I lay this out so it doesn't look stupid or silly? How does this... So this might be cheating, but I've got these 1x4 flats, and I'm pretty sure if you put 3 of them together, it'll equal out to one of those studs. Yeah, so I will home make a 1x4, and boom, there we go. Okay, once again, I'm beating the system. Perfect. I'm glad with like how that looks. That looks really cool. Now, if I could find some more smooth, how am I gonna get a 1x2 brown one? I gotta find something to finish that up. But yeah, eventually we're gonna smoothen that out. This was the driveway. This is the little garden I've got going. Oh yeah, and then I forgot, I started adding a little picket fence line just as I was finding them. I'm not sure how many of these exactly I'm gonna have, so as I find them, I've just been adding them to the mock, and then at the end with whatever I have, maybe I'll rearrange it, maybe I'll even rip it off completely. We'll see. But for now, I'm just adding them because I think they look pretty cool. They've been growing on me, especially like these picket style fence ones. I have a couple different versions. Like we got the jail bar ones, but those ones just aren't cool. See, here's another one of those picket fence. I think they're pretty legendary. I think that's cool. I was hoping, ideally, like to do this corner and then there, but even if it's just the one side, it's kind of cool. I don't know what it is. Picket fence. They're so cool. So cool. Okay, so let's go ahead now. Something that we can work on. So I had mentioned earlier that our second floor is going to be the bathroom. I think initially I had a 3-story plan. The second floor was going to be the bathroom. The first floor was going to have the living room and the hangout, possibly like a little mini kitchen. So a living room, mini kitchen, and then the third floor was going to be like beds and whatnot. I think that's what I kind of had in my head. So going off of that idea, we got to figure out what I want. There's not a lot of space in here. So to get a little kitchen in here, as well as some kind of living room space, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to probably micro build a good chunk of it. This I had laying in there. I think this was what okay, let me just set this down properly first before I get ranting. Okay. This little micro build here, I think is what I'm going to do for the kitchen. Having the little cabinets here, I think is perfect. That can be like our little fireplace. Not fireplace, sorry. That can be like an oven stove top. This here, I think I'm just going to peel that off, put the black piece back, and maybe have that like just as counter space, for example. And then if I could find something to make it look like a little sink, that would be like really, really cool. But I want to keep it to this length because this right here fits in the house really well. Fortunately, this is something I didn't really think through too well, for the first floor at least, being connected to the entire bottom. I gotta lift the whole thing. But so if I keep it to being this size, I can shove it into the house and it fits pretty well, because then I want to have a couch. I need a couch and a TV, and I'm thinking maybe like this is a window, that's a door, and this is a door, so people can come in here, come and go there. I was thinking, honestly, that it kind of makes it tight for coming in, because I wanted the couch here and the TV there. If we put the kitchen there, couch here. Yeah, see, there's just not a lot of space. There is really not a lot of space here. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe put the couch here and put the TV here. Yeah, this is one that's gonna stump me a little bit. I think to keep moving forward, I'm gonna think and stew on what's going on here, and then move on to some different stuff. Some cool pieces I did find. The I'm pretty sure it's called Galileo set. Yeah, the Galileo set. I've got parts and pieces from that, and it's so cool looking. So I was thinking for possibly if I was able to make a third floor, I wanted like a library with the bedrooms and stuff. Now, to make a third floor, that's going to be a little difficult to get the pieces I think that I'm going to need. One thing I do know, I'm trying to keep color scheme kind of the same. So to get this third floor up, we're gonna need that same blue color. That's what I went with, the colorway. One thing I was thinking about was having like a little balcony of some kind, and that can definitely happen. I think this overhang will be fine. It's not the end of the world. I'm gonna take a little pause here. I'm going to come back to you guys when I have something properly figured out for this third floor here. And hopefully we have some more progress because I'm drawing a little bit of a blank. Okay guys, I busted out a box of somewhat sorted pieces. I would like to say these are mostly white pieces, details and other stuff, maybe some pinks and whatnot. But we're going to try and build that third floor. I really want to have some kind of bedroom, and I'm thinking I'm going to go with white because we've already done 2 floors. If I can try and manage to make a third white floor, it will look a lot better than using a different color like red or something. So yeah, we're going to tackle right now the bedroom. That's what I'm going to try and build up. I've also got right here a Ziploc freezer bag. These are pieces from advent calendars from 2019 and 2020. I think it's City and Star Wars or Marvel. There's a lot of really good detail pieces in here. We're going to try and see what we can add to the property from this bag. I think we'll find some really good bits and parts. I also have been slowly kind of making some decisions. So here, I'm not even going to have a living room. I've decided we're just going to have a kitchen. What I'm thinking is this is going to be the little table. I've got a little design. I think it's going to work. Everything here is going to have to be really tiny. So if the kitchen table is looking like that, I'm thinking, where did I put them? I had, of course I can't find it now, but I did have some chairs that I wanted to put over here. There they are. Of course I couldn't find them. These are little chairs. I have 2 of them right now, and then we can put one on the other side. So we'll have a kitchen table, we'll have the actual countertops over there, and the stove. For the bathroom, I ripped out that green base plates because it looked so ugly, and we're going to redo the flooring there. I've got some 2x4 whites for the bathroom, and then the shower stall, we're going to use those gray base plates and the little white vents to make it look like a proper shower stall. So those pieces are coming along really well. I'm happy with how those look. Let's take some time now and tackle this. How am I going to build this wall? It doesn't necessarily need to be as big as the other ones, but it needs to fit at least a bed. That's all I really want is one bed. Let's see if we can make that happen. I found these 1x2 tall wall pieces that were all white, and I had just enough to make a third floor, so we're finally getting that bedroom done. Update time. I have finished the room. Well, not finished, sorry. I've built the walls for the room. That's done. So this is how it's looking. I ended up finding those 1x2s, so surprised. I was like, oh, okay. So they actually filled up the walls really nicely. I put some studs here so these roof pieces can be snapped off fairly easily. What I want is all 3 floors to be able to come off easily so you can take a look on the insides. What I have done quickly, and I didn't put them down properly, let's see if I can put these in place here. Perfect. So I added a little light there. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it yet or not. I just think it's kind of a cool little detail in the corner of the room. We've got these really nice window panes that bring in a lot of light. These are going to be our 2 little beds that I've made. And then on this wall here, we've got the bookshelf and a little dresser that I've made, which I'm pretty happy with. I think it looks really cool. So I'm not sure what else I want to do with this room here. I think I'm just going to set it aside for now and leave it. Obviously, maybe I don't want to put anything here because this is the door that's going to come out onto a balcony. So we don't want that door to be blocked. I could put something in the corner here where the light is, maybe like a TV or just a nightstand or something, but I want to leave this room basic looking. I do like how it looks. I think maybe the colors clash a little too much though, maybe because of the red, then the brown shelving. I use turquoise as like the blankets, and then the gray beds. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that for now, like I said, but I think it looks good enough. And then you can obviously, you put these on and then there's the roof. Now, when it comes to the roof, should I leave it flat? Should I change it? I'm not quite sure yet. I think I might leave it flat just so then that way you can always tear it off easily and then maybe add a little bit of detail on the top. But yeah, I think I've decided to maybe just leave it empty so that way you can peel it off like that easily. Maybe do some kind of like exhaust of some kind for the furnace or something and add a detail like that way we could do. But yeah, so bedroom looking great. Looking great. Let's see if I can move a camera here a bit. There we go. There, now you can see it. So this is how it's looking. And then again, this is the door. So my thought process right now is that's how it's going to look. It is going to overhang. Oh, you know what? I might have messed up the build because you know what? No, we're going to leave it. I'm going to find a way to bring that out because the idea here is that's going to be a little balcony right there. So you can come out on the second floor, but we got to come out on the third floor somehow. So we'll figure that out. Right now we're back to the second floor. I'm trying to kind of finish this one up and add the details that I want. So as you can see, we've got our shower there. I've made the flooring, so that's cool. We've got the drains on the outside. We've got our little bathroom. I put a little 2x4 one piece there, white piece, sorry, as well as a little vent thing there in front of the sink. So that makes it look a little bit nicer. I like how that all looks. And then I just need to complete that wall there with some more tan brick. I've also added on this side wall these little studs here because we're going to need some towels, right? Because if you're showering, how do you dry off? So I was thinking like that, like just some, but an actual smooth tile piece. I just don't know if that just looks like it's a part of the wall because the wall's already white. So yeah, I'm gonna see if maybe I can find a way to have it pop off the wall a little bit more in one way or form. But I did want towels. That's the main one I want for this second floor. But aside from that, I honestly really like how it looks. I decided to go ahead and start building that garden I've been talking about so I can get a better idea of what I want it to look like. I also decided to take away the picket fence. I wanted a flower garden instead, so I started building up the wall a little differently, adding different stuff and some cool small detailed flower pieces. I think it's starting to look good. I even changed the laneway there for the driveway a little bit too. Okay guys, I think I'm going to end this video here so we can have a part 3 and finish this in total. Let's go over though some of the changes I've made. Here's the garden bed that I made. I don't think I've exactly married it yet. I'm not exactly like stoked on the design. Like the pumpkin, for example, do I want that? Does it make it look a little weird? I might change how the garden plants look, maybe try to make them look a little bit more unison so they're all the same. But for now, I like how it looks. I'm happy. The main one is I wanted that garden bed. So we've got the garden bed laid out there so I know what it's going to look like roughly. In the back corner, slide her around. I was super happy with how this all turned out. As you can see, I used 1x4s and 1x6s, those slab pieces on the side there to kind of add some detail. We're going to try and find some more of these leaves to finish that wall there. And we'll have a really cool wall of flowers. So that's looking really great. I didn't do anything really different with the driveway here except for changing this to make it smooth. I might still do something with the driveway. I'm not quite sure yet. This is looking pretty good. We've got our first floor. I would like to say it's basically done. I might add, I have a picture, this thing. I just have to change the walls over, but I'm thinking about adding that picture like right there because that looks pretty good. So that might be for next video, but let's see if I can lift this without breaking everything so I can actually show you guys the inside. I'm keeping it very, very simple. We've got 2 chairs with the kitchen table there. I added the little dishwasher on the bottom right corner there to the countertop with the cabinets and everything. So again, I really like how it looks. I think just to finish it off, we can use this detail piece and maybe some other stuff. I also built up this balcony. I had a bit of a problem with it because initially I had it attached to the second floor, which is right here. So when I had the second floor here, I actually had the fence connecting it, and I realized, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of what I was saying earlier about being able to rip these off at any given time. So I had to do some redesigning, and I just decided to go with the pillars on both sides, so it's going to hold it down. It's not the sturdiest, so I'm going to probably have to add some more stuff to it, but I do like how it looks, because you can come out here, you can hang it on the deck, do whatever you want, look out into the waterfront. I think it looks so cool. So yeah, that's the second floor. Let's look on the inside of our second floor here. This is how the shower's looking. I still wanted like a hand towel or something there for the showers. I don't know what I've got there right now. It just looks weird. A little black pole. I could not figure it out for the life of me. But I didn't add those light beige bricks yet either. And honestly, it wouldn't be too hard. See, look, we can just take this bad boy and put them there. Boom. Yeah, that looks just a little bit better. And so the bathroom, all I did was add a floor there for it. But I would say this is done. The only thing I'm going to change is that little towel hand piece thing there. I need to change that. Other than that, I'm super happy with how the second floor looks. The other thing I do need to add is some more of these smooth 1x6s along the edges, so that way there's a better seal for it. For the third floor, that's going to look like that. That's how it's going to look. So I'm going to find a way to build this out a little bit so it looks like smoother and not so bad. But yeah, that's kind of how I've got the house looking, and then we're going to go with a flat roof style because I don't have enough slopes and pieces and stuff. So that's kind of what I've got going on with that. You can see there, we've got one window on the top, no window on the back. Your back door is right there. The only thing is the yellowing, it's pretty apparent. The next video I make with you guys, we got to add something here, whether it be a little patio space with like a table and a barbecue. We got to add some detail there. I don't think I even mentioned the third floor here, but this is what I've gone with. Pretty simple and basic. We've got one little dresser there, a nice cute looking bookshelf. In this corner, we've got the 2 beds. I might try to add a third bed. I just don't know if I'm going to have the right colorway pieces for it, so I might leave it to 2 beds. But again, the only thing I want to do is maybe change something in that corner there, just add something because it's a little bare bones. But I like the simplicity of it. I don't want to overcomplicate these rooms because they're so small. So I want it to be like digestible information. So when you look at it and you just rotate it, it's pretty quick and easy to assess what you see on the inside. Right now, that's how our vacation home mock is looking. If you guys made it to the end of this video, you guys are stellar, awesome people. Thank you so much for the support. Anybody that's been commenting on my videos, I've been trying to get back to people as much as I can. Thank you guys for your comments. I really do appreciate them, especially when you guys are giving me information on Lego parts and pieces that I'm misspelling, don't even remember the name of. I love it when you guys can tune in and let me know. Really help educate me, and so I can learn more about the Lego stuff. That is going to be the end of this Lego mock creating video for part 2. Stay tuned for part 3, the final part where we completely finish this head to toe, all detail done. But right now, I'm so happy with how the skeleton looks. I will see you guys all in part 3. Have a great day, everybody.